All right, folks, it's Thursday, September 24th, and we're at gorgeous Stony Creek Lake over here in Rochester. I mean, the sights are out of this world. You can see how the trees are starting to turn colors as we go into autumn, and it's gorgeous over here. We finally got some warmer weather, and I'm kind of feeling a little nostalgic today. You know how we were over at that other inland lake throwing the Norman Big End? Well, I'm thinking I'm going to do a throwback today, and I'm going to try out these Kelly's worms. Well, actually, this is another brand, Magnum Bass Stopper, but you can get either of these two at a traditional grocery store, you know, Myers, Walmart. I stopped at Myers before I came out, and I was looking for those Kelly's worms. That's what we used to throw back the day over here from the shoreline at Stony Creek, and we had a lot of success. You can kind of work these kind of near the top. You can almost work them a little top waterish, but throw them in between the weeds, and we would pick up some really nice bass, me and my friend the Greek Youper. Just a lot of fun back in the 90s, and I want to throw something, you know, I like throwing vintage lures here and there, and you know, they still carry these at the store, so I throw one out. I come out here and actually try them out. They have actually a anise scent, which is kind of a licorice smell to them. So they do have a nice scent to them. And when you how I like working them is kind of twitching them, kind of like a wacky rig, and then let them sit and free fall. But when you twitch them, it does more of a circular like motion in the water. Pretty good action. I'll have to show you guys. Take one out of the package here. I ended up buying a purple colored Magnum Bass Stopper. Pretty sweet. You can never go wrong with the purple worm. As you can see in the tail here, it's got a nice little pink tail. These come pre-rigged with monofilament. It looks like it's 8 or 10 pound. What's nice about these worms is they do have 3 nice sharp hooks on them. And unlike the wacky rig that has a single hook, most likely if the fish hit this, you know, a nice sized bass, usually they're not gonna come unhooked. All you really need is don't use a snap swivel per se, but use a snap. You can buy these small VMC snaps at Sportsman's Direct, as you can see here. And you wanna keep this weightless as possible. I've been seeing, like I see people use them over at Lake St. Clair from time to time, over at Blossom, Heather, and I'm up here. They would attach a split shot on the line around here, and I think that can possibly weaken the wire too, but you know, they tend to do that. You can do it if you're fishing a little deeper water, but today we're kind of be fishing more in the shallows, maybe even near the drop-off point, but I'm telling you, the action on this gives up. But that's all you really need is a snap to hook this up. It's very simple. I actually brought another color. This is kind of like a fluorescent green to it. We could take that one out of the package. Really nice look to it with the black stripe down the middle. Pretty cool. It might not look like much, but I'm telling you, these work, and they're only $2. I bought these $2 each over at Meyer. A lot of fun to use, already pre-rigged, so you can just attach them right to your snap and start casting them immediately. We're gonna try working again the shallows first and see how well we do. You know, Stony Creek is kind of, back in the day when we were fishing it, we did get some pretty nice largemouth bass, but Stony was always known for walleye, crappie, and I think because of a lot of fishing pressure over here, a lot of people ended up keeping the fish. It actually kind of morphed into more of a bass and pike lake now, just like Kent Lake. And there is some smallies in here, but you know, you only catch them once in a blue moon here and there. But still, it's a beautiful lake to come out here in Rochester, fish it, very calm. Doesn't really look like there's too many fishermen out here. I see a few kayaks out here, but there is some nice 5-pounders in here, so don't underestimate Stony. I know it's a little tough to fish at times, but if you learn how to work it, find out where the spots are. I notice when you come out here, you hear these like something clicking and clacking on top of the surface. I thought it was bluegill at first nipping at the surface, but you know what that is? That is minnows kind of jumping out of the water, and I see it here and there. And I was fishing another spot on this lake the other day and not getting anything. And then I went kind of near the weeded area where I heard that clicking, that splash, tiny little nips or something on the surface. That's minnows jumping out, and that's when I started catching bass. So there's a tip right there for you fishing stony, man. Look for the bait fish. I mean, that tends to be common sense, but if you don't got a fish finder, using your own intuition, you can actually just use your ears. And right now I can hear them just like a nip or a click. It's kind of just right on top of the surface here. And so this is where we're going to start out at. I like using spinning. I'm using my Shimano Nasky right now. I mean, I never really tried using a bait caster, but the thing with bait casters is when you got that thumb on your line, you're not going to be able to cast it as far. With spinning, you know, completely free of any tension on the line, you can whip this a pretty far cast, even though it's weightless. But you kind of want to, if you're working this over here, cast in between the open spots, the weeds. You can still cast through the weeds in times and get this down deep, but you kind of want to cast near the openings. And they do make a weedless version I saw at Meyer, but I did not end up picking that up because I think just the traditional one with the 3 hooks is, I don't know, you can cast it into kind of weeds as is. And I think they do make a topwater one too. I remember I used to shop at the store and see those, but I don't think we I didn't see them when I shopped there today. And so far I must say this Hobie kayak, it really cuts through the weeds pretty nicely. I was kind of worried about that. You know, I'll get my rudder tangled up in weeds at times. Sometimes if I flip it back and forth, that can kind of loosen up some of those weeds back there. But it cuts through the weeds pretty nicely. I might have to keep or buy some Hobie grease I think they make for the Mega Drive system to keep that chain all greased up. Anytime there's you know, kind of a tree leaning over, cast a shade, good spot to cast a lure. Oh, I got a little bass. I seen him hit it too. Oh, I snagged him. Look at that. Oh, is that a gorgeous little largemouth bass or what, man? I'm gonna give this Northern Mike for his fish tank. Oh, buddy, I don't want to hurt you. Is that a beautiful bass or what, man? That thing's gigantic. What do you guys think? 1 ounce? 2 ounce? All right, let's get him back in. Good bigger, buddy. That worm's a little too big for you to eat. Oh, there we go. That's another one. Another bass. There we go, baby. Number 2. No, get back in here. Almost lost him. I think it's gonna be a good day of fishing. I'm glad I came out here, man. Not a lot of anglers out here. There we go, nice one. Nothing too big, but beautiful. I'll take her. That's a bass. There we go. Nice bass. I'd say 1.5 pounds or something, close to 2. There we go. Nice, I saw him hit it. That was pretty cool, man. There we go. Not much size, but feisty little bass. Still pretty. Whoa, see how feisty he is?
Whoa, see how feisty he is?
There we go. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, nice and plump. Holy cow. Boy, is he round. He's fed good. See, I love how this worm, it hooks really well. It's a short tug and you get a good hook set. It's a pretty nice bass, isn't it? Look how plump he is, man. Round one. Look at that gut. Pretty neat, man.